Hello lovelies. As I'm recording this, it's Easter Sunday, so if you celebrate, happy Easter. I would say I'm winding up the yarn, but I'm not making a very good job of it. I'm winding the yarn that I chain plied. It's a bit of a curate's egg, carrying on the Easter theme. Parts of it are excellent, parts of it less so, but that's okay, that's why we practice. So it's yeah, it's okay. It was a good exercise to do. It will be going into the sweater that I'm going to make using 4-ply scraps, because it's come out at somewhere like a 4-ply. In this sweater, it won't matter. Gauge is flexible, shall we say. So yes, we're winding this. So yesterday the clan gathered. I recorded some footage of me in the kitchen prepping stuff. There's a surprising amount of it. Then again, I did make quite a lot of things. I'll put that at the end because there is a lot of it, and watching me cook is not going to be interesting for everyone. So yeah, that will be at the end of this particular video. So, what do we say? Well, it's the reason why we all gathered yesterday, because normally I'd invite them Easter Sunday, is because himself is off to Wembley. His team is playing in the FA Cup semi-final today, and that's not a game that we miss. So, I've just dropped him at the railway station. He's on his way, and hoping, well, I wished him a surprising result, because the likelihood is that they won't win, and that they will have been cup semi-finalists but no further, and you know, no shame in that. But yeah, they're not likely to go beyond that, but it's a good experience. You know, it's a match at Wembley, the national ground. So I'm going to be arguing with my spindle here. Or even my bobbin. Yeah, so he's rather excited, I think. Goodness knows what time he'll be home. I mean, I dropped him off on well, he's just catching the train now, which is sort of 25 past 10. Kick-off isn't until about 4 o'clock. So I don't know what time he'll be home. There are lots of engineering works going on the railway network this weekend, which is often the case. Although it's very inconvenient for those travelling for leisure, obviously it makes more sense to do that kind of work when commuters aren't trying to get to work every day. So his train journeys are via a different route and somewhat disjointed, but he'll get there. He's a grown-up, he'll work it out. But so I have a day of rest and relaxation, which after the last couple of days of kind of food prep and visits works for me. After lunch, most of the family went out for a walk. The baby, she's 18 months, and she needed to kind of have a bit of stretch of her legs. And the dog was very good, considering the little baby was, you know, toddling around with a biscuit in her hand, and the dog was following her, and we were like, Heidi, do not steal the child's biscuit. But no, the dog was very good, so they all went for a walk, and I stayed at home here with my dad. He had a little snooze. I just caught my breath for a minute. Not surprisingly tired. I mean, I was very tired, and I think this is a post-COVID thing. You know, everyone's saying rest. I've been saying to myself rest, and then go and do stuff that's on my feet more than usual and that sort of thing. But I mean, I was only cooking a dinner. You know, it was for 8 of us, but I was only cooking a dinner. It's not hod carrying, is it? I wasn't building a house, but yeah, I was tired. So today and tomorrow will be a couple of relaxing days, just chilling and catching up with ourselves a bit. Himself is still feeling the fatigue. Just getting a bit fed up with it, really. You know, it would be nice to feel that you have the normal energy for stuff. And sometimes the elements are against you. He started to mow the lawn on Friday, and he did the front lawn, and that was all fine. And then the mower decided to break. Now, it's an old petrol mower that we were very kindly given by some friends a few years ago. They didn't need it anymore. They offered it to us. So, you know, we have no complaints about the fact that this mower has finally stopped. We have had it repaired a few times, and we were sort of making the decision, well, at what point do you stop repairing and just think, actually, it's more efficient and cost effective to just kind of replace it, be grateful that we've kept it going as long as we can, and just get a new one and not have to keep going to the mower repair shop. So that's what we've decided. So the new one will arrive on Wednesday, but it does mean we have our back lawn half mown. So yes, it looks as if the fatigue got to himself as he was the one doing the lawn, and yeah, it looks like he was just kind of, that's it, I'm done. Wasn't the case at all. There was swearing involved, which is unusual for him. I swear all the time, he doesn't. But yeah, it was frustrating because you're halfway through the job when it goes kaput. But these things happen, and in the scheme of things, not the biggest problem. I have two of those. Ah, there it is. So I will catch up with you later in the week. I'm not sure I've got a lot going on this week. It was mostly kind of this weekend, or mostly yesterday. But I will catch up with you and show you this yarn when it's been soaked as well. Cheers. Hello lovelies, how are we? One thing I forgot to say about last weekend is when we have people over for the day or for longer, we've got a couple of chairs that we move out of the dining room and put in the sitting room so there's a bit more space for folks. It didn't take long for someone to get very comfortable in them. It never does. There we go. I've been doing some sewing. I decided to finish off a project that I'd started pre-lockdown, and it's part of a drumming costume. So very briefly, for those who don't know, I'm in part of a local drumming troupe and we wear red and black. There's no uniform, but our colour, our dress code is red and black. And we are very much a rabble. So some people dress very glamorously and they have fabulous dresses and, you know, very elegant face paint and all that sort of thing. Some of us don't. But I started making a skirt out of ties, neckties. And then with lockdown, I was starting to think this really isn't working, and I've had a real rethink on it, which I'll talk about more in length at the month-end podcast. But I finished it Easter Sunday. Whilst himself was watching football, I decided to finish it. So here is my skirt. As you can see, it's all made out of ties. And I had a couple of left over, so pockets too. So we'll go through the whole MO and the whole rethink for the month-end podcast. But there's another little project done. A little bit unusual for me because it's sewing, but I do have another sewing project on the go. Now that I've set up that old bureau as a sewing station, there may be more in the future. But it will never take over knitting and crochet and the yarny things. They are my faves. Also, I said I would show you the yarn once it had been soaked. And here it is. This is the yarn that I spun. I spun a single to practice chain plying. It's not bad. It's not great if you look closely. It's inconsistent. There are bits of it that look absolutely fine, that you'd be happy, or I would be happy with the quality of it. And there are other bits that are very knobbly. I think that's a technical term. It's also a little overspun. It's curling round. Oh, it's not going to do it now. Yeah, it's curling around itself a little. It was curling around itself a lot more than that. So it was a little overspun, a little tightly wound. But it's okay. You know, it's not bad. It was a practice piece. So had it been perfect, I wouldn't have needed to practice. And that would get dull. I think I'm going to put it into the scrap balls that I'm putting together for a sweater. I don't know what else I would do with this, so I think that way it will actually get used. But it was a useful exercise, and practice is always a good thing to do. So there we are so far. Hello, lovelies. It's getting towards the end of another week. Been quite a full one with all the Easter stuff. Oh, the phone's doing strange things. Stop that. And today himself has gone off to Devon. He's watching nephew play football. No, he isn't. He's watching nephew play golf. The football was not a success at the weekend. As expected, his team didn't win. But he had a good day. He didn't feel it was an unfair result. He said his team played well in the first half, but not in the second. So it was as anticipated. But yes, the sun has been shining here. Bit nippy at times, bit chilly, but sun is shining, so all good. And I'm going to call it here for this week rather. So as I said earlier, following on from here will be all the footage of my food prep for the weekend. So if you're not remotely interested, I'll love you and leave you now. And I hope you have a good week. Where are we? It's the 23rd this week. Oh, this Saturday. On the Zoom call with Barbara of Flame and Fibre. I'm saying that very slowly because someone I think thought I said flaming fibre or something like that, but it's Flame and Fibre. If you want to join in on the Zoom call, go and check her out. She has a channel here on YouTube. It's the Flame and Fibre, Fibre spelt the US way, B-E-R, channel. And also Barbara has a group on Ravelry, again the same name. And you'll find the details of the Zoom call in there. And yeah, that will be a good thing. So that will be good fun, I hope. Usually is. And apart from that, himself, as I say, is in Devon until early part of next week. So it's just me and the dog this weekend. So we're chilling at home. I hope you all have a good one. I hope you're all keeping well. I hope you're all keeping safe. And that the news going on in the world isn't causing you too much hurt, anxiety, angst, any of the above. And happy crafting, look after yourselves, and I'll see you next week. Cheers. Bye-bye.